In this demonstration, we look at troubleshooting DNS from both PowerShell and also from a command prompt. So what I've done here is I've logged into my Windows client, I've logged in as administrator, and I have run my PowerShell utility. Now inside my PowerShell utility, the first thing I'm going to do here is issue a little commandlet that will get me information relating to my DNS server. And the command I'm going to issue is get-DNS Client Server Address, and that returns back information relating to my DNS server. Next thing I'm going to do here is just clear out the client cache to make sure I don't have anything sat there that may cause me issues. So in order to do that, we'll just issue our clear-DNS Client Cache commandlet. So as you can see here, clear-DNS Client Cache, hit the return key, we've now flushed that out as well. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to have a look here. So what we can see is, you can see up the top here, we can see the DNS servers. What we can also see as well is we can see some IP version 6 information here as well. Anything that we've got down here is Ethernet, so we've got the two Ethernet ones at the top here. This is just our interface alias column. Anything IP version 4 is IP version 4, anything IP version 6 is IP version 6. So now what we're going to do here is we're just going to use some commandlets here just to test DNS. So we'll just clear the screen off. And now what we'll do is we will just resolve a DNS name for LON-DC1. So we will resolve -DNS name LON-DC1, and that returns back information. So we can see here we've got the name of the server, we've got the address record as an A record, time to live is 1200, answer, and 172.16.0.10. Next thing we'll do is we'll just come into control panel and we'll get some information relating to our network connection. So within Network and Sharing Center, let's just go to change adapter settings. We'll just go to our Ethernet adapter, and what we'll have a look at here is we'll just have a look at the properties. And within the properties, what we'll do is we'll just note down the TCP/IP settings. Next thing we'll do at this point here is we'll just specify that we get an IP address from a DHCP server. Click OK here, click OK again. Just close down our Network and Sharing Center. And just come out control panel. So back to PowerShell. So now we've changed all of that. Let's just go through a couple more tests here just to see if we've actually broken it by obtaining the DHCP address. So what we're going to do here is set the DNS Client Server Address -interface indexes 4, which is my Ethernet adapter, and we're just going to reset all these addresses. So we'll hit enter. Next thing we'll do here is we'll just clear the DNS Client Cache. And we'll do that by issuing a clear-DNS Client Cache. Next thing we'll do is we will just try to resolve a DNS name again. And we'll do that by issuing a resolve-DNS name LON-DC1. And what we can see here, we've got two answers back again. So we've got our IP version 6 address, and we've also got our IP version 4 address, whereas earlier we only got an IP version 4 address. So we'll just clear the screen. And now for our Ethernet interface, what we'll do is we will actually set a client server address to be 172.16.0.10. So we'll type in set-DNS client server address -interface index 4 being our Ethernet adapter, server address, and what we'll do is we'll specify that as 172.16.0.10. We'll now just verify that. And we'll do that by doing a get-DNS client server address. And as we can see, it returns back IP version 4, and we've got the information relating to our DNS server. Nothing next to IP version 6. So we'll just clear the screen off. And what we'll do at this point here is we'll just try to resolve DC1 again. So again, we'll do our resolve-DNS name LON-DC1. Hit return, and yep, we're getting a reply back again. Now we're just going to control panel and put the network address settings back in again. So what we'll do, just on our Ethernet, right click, go to properties, we'll come down to IP version 4, and what we should see is that even though we set DHCP for DNS, it should now be set as we did that via PowerShell. So if we have a look at properties, it is indeed set. So what we'll do now is we'll just put back in our static IP address. So we've now got all that set, so we'll just select OK, click close, and shut down control panel. Alright, so we'll just clear the screen. And all we'll do is we'll just issue some very quick PowerShell commandlets here, just so we can have a look at the output. So the first one we're going to do is a get-DNS Client Cache. Hit return here, and it's showing us all of the settings that have been cached locally. So rather than talk to a DNS server, what we can do is we can pull the resolution direct from RAM. So let's just clear this one off. The other command that we've got here is to actually clear out the DNS Client Cache. Is the clear-DNS Client Cache. And then what we've also got as well is we can get some settings relating to DNS Client global settings. And this will give us some information. So if we click here, we can see that we're using the DNS suffix search list. Our search list has got a datum.com. So yep, so that's where we're searching. And finally, what we've got is we've got the ability to register our client. If we have Active Directory and DNS, and we have DNS set up as a secure or non-secure dynamic update, what we can do is we can register the client against the DNS server. And to do that, we just issue the register-DNS client. So we'll hit enter here, and what this is now doing is this is just doing a update against the DNS server. We can also do DNS troubleshooting against the command prompt. So all we'll do here is we'll just launch up CMD. And we'll just run that as administrator. And then within here, what we can do is we can do an ipconfig/all. And what that will show us is that will show us information relating to, if we have a look down here, we can see our DNS suffix. What we can also see as well, if we have a little bit look down here, we can see the DNS server as well. Other utilities we've got as well is we've got NSlookup. And NSlookup allows me to issue commands against my DNS server. So as we can see here, we do have an address in place here. We don't have a reverse DNS lookup zone, so that's why we're getting a couple of little errors popping up here. So what we'll do here though is if we just type in lon-dc1, it returns back information relating to lon-dc1. So we'll just exit out of this, and what we'll do is we'll now just go to our DNS server. On our DNS server, we'll just launch command prompt. And again, we'll just run that as administrator. And what we have here is we have a couple of little troubleshooting utilities we can use here. So if we just do a DNS CMD, and then if we just do a /, what we have is we have our DNS command. So as you can see, there's quite a few things we can do within here. So basically anything we want to do against the DNS server we can. So we can add additional zones, for example. We can get info, we can have a look at the config, we can reset the config, we can clear the cache, write to the cache. What we can also do here as well, if we do an ipconfig and just do a /flush DNS, we can flush out the resolver cache. What we can also do as well is we can get information relating to DNS with a /display DNS. And we can also register as well our server against DNS with a ipconfig /register DNS. So we just do that again. And it goes away and registers our server against DNS. That's the end of this demonstration of looking at troubleshooting DNS from the command line and also PowerShell. Thank you.